Tony Sabella back here with Giovanni DiCarlo, and our guest now is the head coach. I'm sure you guys all know him, and we hear a lot of him during the season. Josh Snyder joins us now, and Coach, it's that time of the year again for football, and it is starting to feel a little bit like football weather. How have the practices been? It looks like there's been a lot of good competition going on this year.
Practices have been great. All summer long we've had a lot high attendance from everybody in our off-season workouts and in our 7-on-7s, and came into camp energized. These guys really got after it. Can't question their commitment or their effort at practice, and that's sort of the things that we look forward to as coaches is just give max effort. We'll get along with the X's and O's, but the it has been there, and the media day is always pretty special for me. Just to see the buzz around campus. We had a great summer. We got away from things a little bit, but to see everybody back, the different sports, field hockey, the soccer teams, the golf teams, there's a buzz. And, of course, well, Northwestern, the fall seasons have been pretty special around here the last number of years. So pretty excited.
15-1 overall last year, fourth consecutive PIAA D11 3A title, 31-game winning streak, that 36-28 victory over Southern Lehigh, knocked off Notre Dame Green Pond in the districts 35-14, and then started going through the state playoffs again through Scranton Prep and Trinity before hitting Avonworth again, but just a win streak like that in football, I think, says a lot about the talent level, the hard work, the determination that, and the coaching staff that have put together this quality team year after year. But it's when you got this big of a squad, you need a lot of kids to be on the same page with you, and somehow you guys have been able to do it year after year. The last several years have just been phenomenal for this program.
It just starts with the type of kids that we have in this school district. They're hardworking. They're blue collar kids that know what it takes to get the job done, and that starts in the weight room. Really, a number of years ago, the commitment level, and then that goes to the culture that we've built here, and it's a player led culture. It's a relationship based coaching. Our coaches care a great deal about the individuals that the student athletes, and they develop those relationships over the course of the season to where, we don't want to let the kids down, and the kids don't want to let us down. That happened little by little over time, and now we're to the point where, that's just the culture around here. And it sort of takes care of itself when you get to this point. However, the new crop comes in, and they have a big stake in the game. They don't want to be the kids that sort of drop the ball on the whole thing. And, we won't let that happen. The leaders that are sitting here won't let that happen this year. The energy level has been great. And I really like this group of seniors.
And talking about seniors, in the past, Northwestern's been very successful and very consistent at being successful in football. And now I'll talk to Brady and Luke here, stepping into that senior role because these teams have been led by seniors. What's different coming into this year, and what is your role? How is it bigger?
Yeah, I feel like the seniors last year really left their legacy, and stepping in, coming up to a higher leadership role. I mean, it puts a lot of pressure on us, but like our coaches preach every week, that every practice, that we just got to bring the energy and bring these guys along with us.
Yeah, I mean, to build off Brady, I think these group of seniors before us have left a great legacy and have always had great leadership qualities, and it's definitely a little motivating to carry on that legacy, and a little bit of pressure there, but it's really fun to carry on their legacy.
We're talking to Brady Zimmerman and Luke Rennells here, as well as head coach Josh Snyder. And this Northwestern Lehigh football team has a lot to continue to build on, and getting all the way back to the championship game again. And 3 years in a row, guys. When you think about that, Brady, about this squad and getting to the championship for the States 3 years in a row, which is an incredible achievement for anyone, has that really set a standard that that all the players understand at this point?
Yeah, so we know that each week that we're going to get our opponent's best shots. So it really motivates us to practice harder, to play harder. And, the seniors left their legacy, and we're just looking to do the same thing.
And Luke, you've gotten a chance to really watch this team be part of this championship caliber pedigree that is here at Northwestern Lehigh. When you talk to some of the younger players, what do you impress upon them about Northwestern that you feel like they really need to understand?
I mean, yeah, I think the whole community and all the younger players coming up understand that there's a legacy here, and that needs to carry on. And there's always going to be a target on our backs, and we need to carry on that legacy and perform as that.
A lot of changes from last year, Coach. Shane Lay graduated, goes to Marist to play football. Shane Humes over at Bucknell. Michael Boring's not too far away at Ursinus. And then you've got other players like Mason Bollinger, Colton Pop, one of your senior leaders up on that front line, Braxton Lakatosh, Evan Wagstaff. A lot of, again, you lose a lot of good seniors every year, but I want to talk about the quarterback position, which I'm sure everyone's wanted to talk to you about. You've had a couple of guys in camp who have really worked hard to make a statement this year. What's that competition been like, and how do you feel overall about your quarterback situation at Northwestern? Do you feel like you got a couple of guys that you can go to? Do you feel confident if anyone gets hurt that you've got others who are capable of taking over?
Yeah, definitely, the centerpiece of our offense. You know well that we do so many different things with our shifts, our motions, our different formations, different tempos. They control the pace of how our offense flows. And, Trey Snyder's a rising sophomore. He's done a really nice job over the summer, sort of working with these guys individually and getting on the same page, and in the weight room really dedicated himself to doing all the little things it needs to take, or it takes to become a really successful quarterback. And I think what we'll do is to ease things is we have a really experienced line coming back. We started 3 sophomores last year, so those guys are back as juniors, and Nolan Kohler, Devin Rex, and Maddox Hurdle. Luke, a rising senior, going to step in at the other guard. Harry Wertman at tight end, who got a lot of experience last year, so he's going to be protected back there. And not only that, you got Brady Zimmerman and Michael Lagowy to throw the football to, and Brady has the ball in his hands in a lot of different ways, and Chase Ukanik rushed for 940 or 50 yards last year. So I remember way back when, it feels like a long time ago, that Shane Lay started as a sophomore.
Right.
He didn't really have a total grasp of the offense when he sort of took over. And I think X's and O's wise, Trey's a little bit further along than Shane was at this particular point. Shane was a little taller, maybe a little bit faster, but with a little bit, I don't know if it's unexpected. What impresses me is how accurate Trey's been, really threading the needle on some balls, anticipating some throws. So that's been good. That being said, we still anticipate to snap the ball to a number of different people at any given moment, Brady included. We get direct snap to Chase Ukanik. Brady Krimmel came out again as a senior after leaving us after his freshman year. He's done a nice job learning the offense, picking things up. He could definitely run the show, and we feel confident in all those guys. But right now, Trey's our guy, and we're going to roll with that.
Coach, you were talking about players, younger players especially, stepping up into new roles. To open up those roles, you have to have seniors graduating. And the seniors in the past few years especially, not only are they getting to state championship games, again, farther than other teams, but they're going and playing football and continuing their careers at good schools. What does that mean to you as a coach?
Yeah, I definitely, one thing that I look forward to and cherish is watching a group come up through our program, becoming seniors, leading our football team to a success. But more importantly for me is success off the field. You mentioned a lot of the seniors that graduated, whether they want to go and continue at the collegiate level in sports or not. I'll support them in whatever they do. I just talked to Colton Pop yesterday. He's got a full-time job and loving that, enjoying it, missing football like crazy. But we have other guys playing at different various levels, and we're supporting them and hoping that they get off to a great start in their freshman year. I still contact those guys, text them on a weekly basis, seeing how they're doing. But one thing that we definitely put at the top of our priority list as a football program is developing successful people that have a positive impact on the community and being good family people and giving back. And we think we're doing a great job of that.
Michael Lagowy joins us here as well, another senior. And, you know, when you look at this offense, and obviously Coach just mentioned about Trey heading up this offense, and obviously a lot for him to learn and to get up to speed with and to understand how this, what the speed of the game is on a regular basis. Guys like you and Brady are certainly going to be weapons that are going to be leaned on a little bit more. How much have you realized that that's probably going to be the case, and that your job is really going to be to be sort of someone that could be very reliable catching the ball on the offense?
Yeah, I think Coach Snyder said this multiple times. We're not going to go out and ask Trey to be a superhero. He has a lot of guys outside and in the backfield that are going to be able to make plays. So he just needs to go out and play great decision-making football. We're not asking him to go out there and make crazy plays. We just need him to do his job. And I think that's what the rest of the offense needs to do, is just mold around him and just give him the best opportunity to be successful.
Brady, knowing, and I think we've talked about this with Coach today, but it's been talked about in the last week or two from other folks who have been able to do previews on this team. The offensive line, the defensive line, really is very solid this year. How much pressure does that take off of you as a runner to know that you've got some guys up front now on that offensive line? And last year, Colton did a heck of a job really anchoring that line, but you've got probably even more talent this year. Do you feel like you've got a little less pressure off you, and do you feel that helps you to be able to help Trey a little bit more?
Yeah, for sure. So these guys all come in. They're returners. They're returning starters. So, I mean, following Maddox Hurdle up the hole, them making holes for us, it all starts in the trenches.
Yeah.
So, like, when they're making wide holes for us to run through, I mean, it just feels great to, like, see the daylight and then be able to trust them.
I think I could follow Maddox Hurdle up the hole there.
Oh, yeah.
I think I could. I think that's certainly possible. And Luke, you're being asked to and you're stepping up to help out as well. What's been the learning curve been like for you as far as understanding what this line has been doing the last several years, and what have you done to be able to contribute in a way that you feel like is going to be a solid contribution on this line?
Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot last year, getting some reps last year with the varsity squad. Learning a lot last year, carrying over to this year. We got a great group of O-line and D-line here to build around, and it's a lot more fun to learn when you're excited to play with this group, and I think it's a great group, and it's going to be very successful this year.
I'll ask you guys all one last question before we get to the coach with it, but Brady, is it an unreasonable expectation to get back there for a fourth time at the States, or do you feel like you guys belong there?
I mean, I feel like these past 3 years, we now feel like we belong there at a state powerhouse level, but we just got to take it week by week, win each week, and we can't take any opponent lightly.
Luke, what are your expectations as well?
I would say the bar is pretty high. I think the expectation's pretty high, and I think that we can perform as that.
And Mike?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't say we deserve to be there, but we're going to work hard to get there every single week. It's not, for us, it's an expectation, but we don't go out every single week and be like, all right, we expect to win this football game. We're going to put the work in every single week in practice. Every single day is just taking it week by week.
And Coach, how do you temper the younger players who might be thinking, hey, we're going to get back there every year, because it just seems like Northwestern's there almost every year?
Yeah, we want to be a state power. I think we've developed ourselves and built over the course of 14, 15 years. Is my 15th year. That's our goal, to be a state power. But to do that and get there, there's a lot of little things that need to be taken care of. And There's no special formula. You got to hit the weight room. You got to be the part. You got to look the part, and you got to be the strongest and most physical football team that you're going to face each and every week. And then it comes down to, no matter where you want to end up, it comes down to giving max effort every single rep, starting in the weight room, going into the spring ball, going into the summer, entering camp, and every single week. If you give your best effort every single rep, the games become a little easier. And at the end of the season, we want to be playing our best brand of football. We feel like the personnel that we have will be in, the picture. And then it's, win or go home, 1 week at a time. Enjoy the ride. One thing that we've been able to do and why we've been successful is we've been able to enjoy each week, not looking down the road. Obviously, we have goals, and when the bar's high and we have high expectations, but we want to enjoy every single week. These guys are now seniors. There's no camp anymore for them. There's not going to be another first scrimmage for them anymore. There's not going to be another first game of the season for them anymore. So for the seniors, you just got to take it week by week. Not that, it's a cliche, but we want to do it because we enjoy doing it, and you can't fast forward. It's not worth it. You only get this senior season one time, and I think if we do that, we have the personnel to make a lot of noise in the postseason again.
Coach, you were talking about your experience as the head coach of Northwestern. You're 135-41 in your 15 years here. You're 176 games coached at Northwestern. And I want to hear from everybody on this, even the players. With all the expectations of the past few years, how do you make sure your team stays with the mindset of one game at a time and get back to where you were?
I think everybody comes to practice every day with the expectation to be great, but not that we're going to be in the state championship every single year. Like, we come to practice ready to work because we want to work to get to the state championship. Not that we need to be there, but we work hard to get there. I think that's just what it comes down to. And the young guys coming up, they see us getting to the state championship 3 years in a row. And me personally, my freshman year, like, going to the state championship was an insane experience. So I feel like that offseason, it made me want to push a little harder. Like this could be our year, and this could be another awesome experience for us.
Yeah, I feel like making it to 3 state championships, nobody's ever going to do that in school history. And us as seniors, we want to get back to that feeling of playing for a true championship game where the season rides on it. And, I feel like coaches do a good job of preaching that the state championship isn't given to us. It's earned. And we just have to take each practice and go week by week, earning that spot.
Yeah, I think the community around us helps us, motivates us to get back there. It's a great experience every time there, and I think every day we work really hard. Off season, work extraordinary effort on and off the field, and I think that's what builds us to a state champion every year.
Like I said, the formula is pretty easy. Here's one thing that not too many people think about is, of course, this run. We haven't had any injuries either. So we get the stars got to sort of align, and they have, which it's tough as a coach to sort of like plan out practice to where we're not banging heads continually all game long, all practice long, all week. We got to keep these guys fresh. We got to keep these guys hungry. But when it comes down to it, you got to play your best game each and every week. You got to have the personnel to do it, and you got to get a little lucky here and there. You got to make your own luck too sometimes. So, looking forward to the season. It's not. A lot of people ask how you do it. It's not easy to play at. We get to the program to this level. It's not easy to earn a spot. We have a lot of very good football players, and that starts at the youth levels. We build, our classes on up to where when you become a junior, become a senior, it's tough to win a spot. So there's a lot of competition that goes on, inside of our own team. We feel like we practice against the best team in the state each and every day at practice. Iron sharpens iron, and we're ready to roll on game night.
Coach, good to see you again. Good to see all you guys again, and we will see you next week at Valley View for the start of the regular season.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Tony. Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
Tony.
Appreciate
Thank
you
you.
having us.
That's Josh Snyder along with Brady Zimmerman, Luke Rennells, and Michael Lagowy.